Good morning and welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Today's verse is 1 John 2:22. Who is the liar but the one who denies that Jesus is the Christ? This is the Antichrist, the one who denies the Father and the Son. As I've been going through these lessons, I've been very impressed as a retired teacher of how well John is teaching some new concepts, but then recycling them, circling back, adding a little bit more, but circling back. And this is exactly what he's doing this week. In last week's verse, and I had the link up here, he said, I didn't write to you because you don't know the truth, but because you do know it. And then he ends that sentence with, and because no lie is of the truth. And so we want to now circle through that word lie and find out more about that. So today's verse is, who is the liar but the one who denies that Jesus is the Christ? Now remember that Christ means the anointed one. So if we're denying that Jesus is the anointed one, let me see if I can bring this together. Remember that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. If we're denying that Jesus is that way, truth, and the life, that he's the anointed one, then we're denying the truth. That's one of the three, the way, the truth, and the life. So we're denying the truth if we deny him. Also, that he is the master. All right, and I'm going to get some verses to show that. We have to give Jesus everything. If he's the boss of us, he owns us, and he can have anything he wants in our lives. If we deny that, that's being a liar. Now, let's get three verses that will back this up here. First one is in Matthew 10:33. It says, but whoever denies me before men, I will also deny him before my Father who is in heaven. That's serious. If we're going to say no to him, you're not my boss, I'm not going to give you everything or this one part of my life. If we deny him before men, he will also deny us before his Father. Now remember that Peter would have heard Jesus saying this. Later, Peter denies knowing Jesus 3 times, and that's why he wept so bitterly, because he assumed, and probably correctly, that was it. His life was over. Jesus was going to deny him before the Father. But Jesus graciously showed love to him at the end of the Gospel of John, saying, do you love me? And Peter said, I love you with human love, the best that I can. Jesus said that 3 times and restored Peter by saying, feed my sheep. In other words, get busy with my work. But that's the same word, deny, when Peter denied him. Let's look at another one. In Titus 1:16, it had talked about the pure and the impure in verse 15. So now we're going to talk about who the impure is. Verse 16, they, that's the impure, they profess to know God, but by their deeds they deny him, being detestable and disobedient and worthless for any good deed. So denying him is being disobedient. If we should want to obey him, if we really love him and we're his. But now it doesn't mean that we have to be perfect. Peter certainly wasn't. But we have to have that willingness, that love to want to obey him. Now speaking of Peter, let's end it with 2 Peter 2:1. But false prophets also arose among the people, just as there will also be false teachers among you, who will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the master who bought them, bringing swift destruction upon themselves. If you ask me, how much does it cost to be a Christian? The answer is everything. We have to be willing to give him everything if he's our master, but in exchange, he gives us more than everything. So let's choose to love every moment, because then we're going to love every moment. I'm your average wretch, and I hope you have a great week.